Live tonight from Dover International Raceway, it's the Loose Lugnuts Racing League. Support the Troops Truck Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right, man. Another week of racing, final week of racing for the 2019 fiscal year here at Loose Lugnuts Racing. So we're at Dover, one-lane track potentially, but we'll throw the tire model word out there so everyone can get it out of the way. But tire model and driver type choice of line, it's going to be interesting. I think 2x2 racing is going to be a little bit difficult, and also restarts.
Yeah, you get another update to the tire model just recently, so it'll be interesting to see how they play with it here tonight. And let's not forget, tire blowout's a factor. Last week, me and Ray Richer, Monday Night Street Stocks, we saw 4 drivers go down on tires. I'm wondering if we see it happen here tonight, especially at a short track, and at a short track that's known to be abrasive on tires. Dover Speedway is not known for being easy on tires now, is it?
No. You could definitely tear some tires up around this track. Obviously pushing off of 2 and 4. I haven't seen it a lot so far in practice and qualifying, but at the same time, who knows how the race is going to go forth. We got about, I would say, close to 30 trucks out here. Like I said, we wind out the fiscal year 2019 points racing. So last attempt to get to the top 10 in points on the trucks division. I'm over on the Cup side of it. Before I start mentioning points, I got to get over to the trucks and continue what I was going to say. But Justin Michael leads. He's got 3 wins in the trucks so far. He could make 4 wins in 9 races tonight if he needed to. Mitchell Reeves second, Keith Haney third, Randy Arms fourth, Brian Abbott up 4 spots. The 82 machine with consistent racing, 5th in points, tied 6th. Trent Drum, Jeff Gilmore, Ray Richer 8th, Ronald Klein 9th, and Kyle Chadwick holds down that pivotal spot of 10th place in points.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting night to see how these drivers play things out and try and work it. Right now, watching Kyle Chadwick try and do what he can. So Chadwick, an interesting driver here. He was really good earlier last year and hasn't really had that same luck here in the 2019 season. I should say he was good in the summer, hasn't had the same luck in the winter season for 2019. And the question is, do you think he'll pick up that luck, or do you think it's kind of gone away for him?
Well, we actually talked about that before the race tonight when I was talking to some drivers out there. He said he put down 3 wins in the summer season. Obviously, I think he had a win so far in the trucks this season, but started off strong, took that momentum from the summer season, ran with it for the first few races, has not been able to capitalize. And yet he's still in 10th in points. That's just how much of a good start he had. I was calling him Mr. Top 10 for a reason for a while. So it's just one of those things. He's got to get back on the horse and try to figure out the racecraft around him, his own racecraft personally. I know he said he's messed up a few times, caused his own incidents, been involved in other people's incidents. Just one of those things. Got to hit the lucky streak and also got to, just work on the racecraft.
Yeah, that is for sure, and it'll be interesting to see how he tries to play it out. Randy Arms, top of the speed charts, though. What do you think about that?
83 is probably one of the guys well positioned across all boards, but speaking of trucks here tonight, it is 4th in points. He's been there for many weeks now. He's got a win, so that monkey's off his shoulders. He's running for top 10 feature every night, and that's what the 83 needs to focus on, getting himself in the best possible position based on what the 87, the 02, and the 87D are doing at the moment, those guys in front of them in points. Because obviously you don't want to finish too far away based on a difference in points. If you're finishing 5 points back, each race compared to the guy in front of you, you're just going to lose too many spots.
Yeah, without a doubt, and it'll be a bit of a problem for those drivers to try and work that one out. By the way, messed with my mic levels here because I did notice, like you mentioned, it was a little bit high. Hopefully it's sounding a little bit better. I hope I'm sounding better and not blowing out everyone's eardrums.
No, it sounded much better, Matt. About to roll into the grid.
Yep, and we'll let you get the grid here in a moment. And you said it is sounding better, yes, right?
Oh yes, much better. You're not
trying to kill
up,
everyone's eardrums.
Yeah, it sounded like you're up on the mic, but it was just mic levels. All right,
yeah,
as soon as these guys load up.
It looks like Randy Arms will have the pole.
They're lining up on. I was looking for down the front stretch. Well, here we go. Randy Arms, fast time 23.599. Ronald Klein, a little bit. I saw him on the bottom part of practice. 20th place probably in practice. Looks like he's improved. He's up to second. Outside pole. Justin Michael third. Mitchell Reeves fourth. Kyle Chadwick fifth. Daniel Smallwood sixth. Keith Haney seventh. Jeff Merck eighth. Kevin Winter 9th, Trick Drum 10th, Chris Chief Shaw 11th, 33 will start 12th, Nick Zotner 13th, Mark Jackson 14th, Wally Tierheimer 15th, Chris Voiles 16th, Jeff Gilmore 17th, Brian Abbott 18th, Brandon Thornhill, I haven't seen him, he's been qualifying real well, I didn't want to see him this far back. He's 19th. Robert McFarland 20th. Andrew Feston with only minimal practice 21st. Brandon Murray back this week 22nd. And we'll have to see the rest of the trucks that did not qualify. Zach McSwain 23rd. Jack Watts 24th. Judd Danielson 25th. Ray Richard 26th. Lee Ryson Jr. 27th. Jeremy Crandall 28th. And Kerry Cleaver 29th.
Yep, he'll start scratch on the field tonight. What I'm more interested in is, well, not where you start, where you finish, and how these tires hold up. I know this new tire model is probably getting annoying to talk about, but, I mean, really, it's going to be a big thing, and, I'm interested in it.
Yeah, we've had two Facebook posts from two different individuals on the Loose Lugnuts Racing Group Facebook. All the information there you can find on Loose Lugnuts, but all talking about the tire model and the versions of tire models before, and this is probably the most comprehensive model we have. Adds to the realism of the sim.
And definitely one of the most controversial too. There's been a lot of opinions, both good and bad, on it. None of those matter right now. What matters is the fact we're about to go green, and no matter what model we're on, the drivers gotta race with it, so they'll find out what it's like after 85 laps here at Dover. Pace car down. Coming off of turn numero 4, green flag is in the hand of the starter, and there it is in the air. We're racing at Dover.
Gotta watch tire spin as we head down to turn number 1 on that start. People are gonna dive to the bottom. Outside line is not where you want to be.
Yeah, no, it is not, as they are nearly all single files. They rocket down the backstretch. Kyle Chadwick is side by side. Other than that, nearly single file. Chadwick battling it out with Mitchell Reeves for position. This will be for fourth spot.
Yeah, they almost got into the wall off in turn 4. Mitchell Reeves did. Some guys missing entry corner 1 there. Good battle, good consistent battle. Looks like Mitchell Reeves not pushing it. You don't have to push it here early on. No fast repairs. 15 incident limit tonight.
And Mitchell Reeves does not push it early on. He falls back in line to 5th place. Kyle Chadwick, your fourth place driver. 3rd place, Ronald Klein. And, of course, your leader, the man and the myth, and, yes, even the legend, is Randy Arms. And he's ahead to the tune of about, 0.3 of a second. But we're only 3 laps into this race, mind you. So that's not exactly going to make the biggest difference in the world until a little bit later on tonight if he's leading at the end of 85 laps.
Now, Randy Arms led the majority last week at Chicagoland. Got, I think, put down with a late caution and maybe hung up by a caution off of pit cycle. But And he's got to look to bounce back because he had that race won under the green flag session early on. Can he sustain it going forward?
It looks like he might have just dropped out of the server. I think he did just drop out of the server, so the unfortunate answer to that question is gonna be no, it appears. As both Randy Arms and the 33 machine are out of this race as it stands.
Randy Arms has to reconnect. He can. I don't see him drop connection just yet. He is technically not scored first anymore.
He's not scored anywhere. He's scored 28th place right now. Leaves Justin Michael as your race leader.
Hopefully that 83 can get back, but Justin Michael was going to be up there challenging no matter what. Ronald Klein's still second. Good to see the 76 having an early good start to this evening. Chadwick third. Not much going on around the track. I'm going to scoop back myself, Matt, and see if can't find some battles.
Yeah, with Justin Michael leading this race, it'll be good for him. Looking further back in the field, looks like maybe Jeremy Crandell and Lee Ryson Jr. might be going at it. Andrew Fesden has now disconnected.
Not sure what's up at.
Those three drivers are all Misfit Motorsports drivers. Now, I'm wondering, are we going to see Brendan Murray take a leave as well?
No, Randy Arms reconnecting. He needs the points. Brandon Murray, after missing last week, not really sure.
Well, we're watching Murray. He's caught in the thick of a battle for 16th place. Monster Energy machine.
Yeah, I'm going to scoot over here and look at the news real quick and see who's high up on the board. Murray is up there, but I'm not sure if it's Murray or Thornhill. I know Andrew Beston, he tends to run similar internet. Yeah, he runs similar internet to what I do, so.
It looks like Brandon Hunter Murray going to lose position to the 091 of Mr. Zach McSwain. He'll be riding in line with teammates, though. McSwain and Thornhill behind him. So he'll be the middle of that team sandwich. Randy Arms now coming back out on track. That number 83 Castrol Edge machine. How about Justin Michael, though? Out and away to a pretty decent lead, and we're only 12 laps into this race.
And this being one 1 mile track, it's the super speedways of 1 mile tracks, I'll say that. And it's a fast track, up to about 165, 170 miles an hour, with a pit road speed of 35 miles an hour, if that makes any sense of how much you got to climb down. Anything can happen on this track, but Justin Michael's setting a blistering pace.
Yeah, that he is. He's making a lot happen, and a lot of good things happen at that. Look at Kevin Winter. I want to point out his car for a minute, because I absolutely love the way that machine looks. That metallic finish is done so beautifully.
No, really good-looking truck there for him. Numbers aren't blended in like they normally are. He's pushing the situation here with Daniel Smallwood. A little bit of tap out of 4. Daniel Smallwood keeps it collected. They're going to be door to door.
Yeah, they go down into 1 and 2 there. Looks like Winter runs that middle line. So Kevin Winter's still just doing what he can, making things try and happen.
No, 78 looks like it has good momentum right now, and he's looking to hunt down Keith Haney. Kevin Winter can save tires and roll with the best of them.
Yeah, he's definitely a very fast driver. Again, I want to put a spotlight on Randy Arms for a second. I just want to say how unfortunate of a situation that really is that he's in. He was leading the early stages, almost won last week, and of course where he needed some good performance. Unfortunately, now winds up 27th place on the board.
Yeah, and more unfortunately, he has to wish misfortune on other drivers to improve
climb.
his circumstance.
Yeah, because 7 laps down, he's not going to do much better than where he's at right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, 6 laps down now, if you want to
Well,
technically
yeah, you're
count
right.
it.
You're right. He'll get one of those 7 laps back, but he's got to do that 6 more times.
We're approaching lap 13 around this speedway. 70% fuel load, Matt. I think we're gonna, cruise around right now. It's looking good.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with you on that one. I don't see any incident happening anytime soon. Everyone's kind of off doing their own thing. I don't think there's anyone really close enough to crash.
No, there's individual battles going on, which I like, and but if someone seems to have the potential line into the corner, they're not pressing that situations, and good on the admins to remind the drivers that we are at the halfway point of the season and only have like 4 to 5 points races remaining before the playoffs.
Yeah, we're getting towards that point where drivers really got to start being careful with what they want to do and how they want to do it if they want to make the chase.
I mean, we're all worried about Christmas, Xmas Bash, getting those points for top 10 for the free pass into that. But, overall, you got to still consider points on track for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, and right now, looking at the standings, was a top 15 get in, I believe. And Brandon Murray would be that cutoff.
Yep, so every point counts, and we do have a remainder drop race coming up. That's Watkins Glen. Time between race number 4 and Watkins Glen, you'll have a drop, so that'll help some drivers. And then obviously the big thing of Daytona being the final race before the chase.
Yeah, that'll make a lot of drivers happy. That'll make a lot of drivers probably unhappy to have that wild card thrown in there like that. Personally,
and it's going to add
excitement. It's going to be a great show.
Oh yeah, it's going to be exciting at Daytona when we get to that point. Just have to make it through the new year first.
Yeah. that is for sure.
Well, see guys moving up the leaderboards. Looks like Mark Jackson at 3, Matt, has marched up a few spots from his starting position.
He currently runs 9th. Beautiful U.S. Air Force machine. So, with Mark Jackson in 9th, here's the question.
Oh, yellow.
Yep, that there is.
Oh, 83 and 029.
Oh boy, that's Kerry Cleaver.
Oh, Justin Michael barely made it out of that too.
So Randy Arns was coming up on Cleaver, and Cleaver just kind of came into him. I guess Cleaver got tight. And yeah, you're right. Ooh, that's tight. Yep.
It is hard to maneuver on the backstretch, especially when 2 trucks go 2 different ways.
You want to talk about a driver that's having horrible luck? How about the 83 driver?
Yeah, 6 in a row with horrible luck. Like I mentioned, where the cautions fell for him, being involved in an incident last week didn't help his points, but he rallied back. And then tonight with that connection drop.
And not a good situation for him to be in right now. And unfortunately, it just kind of got worse for him as he was trying to get by the 029. Whole field down pit lane. My guess is 4 tires and full of Sunoco race fuel.
Yeah, that would be the guess, but like I mentioned, 35 miles an hour pit road speed limit. And those timing loops are a little bit hidden from on the front stretch where the lines are. You really got to know this track very well. But I don't know. Some of these guys could do well based on, the curve of turn number 4. If you got an early pit box, that'd be pretty swell. Or the front pit box.
Yeah, looking to see first in, first out of Randy Arms. Unfortunately, pulls here tonight. A long drive up to that pit box here. And Justin Michael in and out. Ronald Klein, Kyle Chadwick got a great stop. He came out third. I think he even gained a few positions there.
Yeah, I think he was running fourth or third there before, but he definitely won an inside track. I hate that. Ronald Klein's going to have probably, unless he gets a good jump, may suffer a position or two there.
Yeah, pretty good run there for Chadwick to get that pit stop. Mitchell Reeves fourth, fifth is Keith Haney. Kevin Winter and Jeffrey Merck is seventh. Now Jeffrey Merck coming hot off an Xfinity win. You think he's got one lined up here in the trucks tonight?
He could. But that Xfinity win last week was pretty darn good for him and really boosted confidence. I think he finished well in the Cup side of things. Memory fading a bit, but he's got to carry momentum. He's a two-time champion of last year. Won trucks, won Xfinity. So he wants to repeat. He's got to be there to repeat. Got to improve his points a little bit.
And he won that Xfinity race in the American Sim Network sponsored machine, so that was a great win to see. And hopefully I can see him win in the truck series. I know he doesn't run the ASN truck here in the series, but still would love to see him get to victory lane.
It's got a logo on the left side, I think.
Yeah, that it do. Well, I'm saying the hood logo. That big ad space right there.
Well, Matt, that was a good little run there. We were approaching probably the earliest portion of pit stops, but I think the guy that received the most damage was obviously the 029 outside hit, inside hit. I think Randy Arms only had an inside hit wall, so Kerry Cleaver's also already off the track too.
Yep, so it looks like Cleaver's done. Well, Randy Arms will gain a spot on Kerry Cleaver, so he'll at least finish at 26, and he still has a lot of racing left, so he might gain more. But unfortunately, yeah, Randy Arms just, I don't see him gaining any higher than maybe 25th if we have drivers drop out,
Yeah, as it stands right now, he's still got to struggle for the remainder portion. But, Randy Arms can do it. I don't think he'll get back on the lead lap unless, we have some pretty poor racing ahead of us. So, 83 is going to have to bite the bit and just move on through the night.
Right now, 29 laps in. It'll be 30 when we take the green. I'll let you get the restart here.
Well, there goes that pace car. Justin Michael's going to get a quick jump, which is necessary, I think, to help strengthen and get this field spread out. Kyle Chadwick with a bad jump. Mitchell Reeves and Ronald Klein, 2-3 there.
Yeah, Ronald Klein there trying to run second. Fourth is Chadwick. Fifth is Keith Haney. It is like a pack of rabid wolves behind them trying to get to the back end of these drivers. I watched Kevin Winter there. He just smacked the outside wall. A little bit of a nice nudge. Hopefully no damage to his fender, no tire rub, no nothing. That would not be good for that number 78 team as they go rocketing down into 1 and 2 again, single file as they run. Keith Haney looking for a spot.
Yeah, we're going to see guys leaning back. Some guys are going to take advantage of a possible short run and use as much tire as they can, or potentially can. I wonder who's saving out there. It doesn't look like there's a lot of mismatch between saving and not saving. It may be line dependent.
Right now, 33 laps into this race. Justin Michael starting to pull away to about 0.5 of a second. Ronald Klein second. Third place, Mitchell Reeves. And look at Keith Haney on the bottom, trying again for a spot. Keith Haney has got a lot of speed in that car, it looks like. But Daniel Smallwood's actually the one making a pass.
Yeah, Jeff Merck or Daniel Small or someone in that group right there off of turn 4 when you were speaking just hit the wall a ton. It might have been Smallwood because he's obviously slow off and losing momentum.
Yeah, 35 now into this race. It'll just be a good question here of what's going to happen. As far as another caution goes, Kevin Winter looking to the inside. He looked to the inside of Smallwood in that last corner. He didn't quite go for it. Now he rides behind Smallwood to a few tenths of a second.
Yeah, this is where the 78 machine found himself during the last run. A little bit of patience, a little bit of maneuvering found him in front of the 8. Maybe a bad pit box for the 78. Look at the 78 power.
Oh, he's gonna ride up the track. Yeah, ride up the track a little bit too. It looks like he got in just a tick too hot, you know.
Yep. Potential pass Keith Hayne. No, Keith Hayne just lost momentum trying to get off that turn 4 wall. It's going to cost him a few positions, but Keith Hayne, as always, getting back to it. As long as he gets through the 78, the 78 87B there, a little bit of arrivals.
And look at there, side by side, Mark Jackson. Oh, come on, Mark, don't put that 3 wide. I saw that. That wasn't too great.
He stuck those there, maybe making the spotter just talk and confuse other drivers real quick. But, I think Mark, I could be misplacing a win, but I think he does have a Dover win back in the 2018 season here.
Yes, he does. I believe so, but not recently, unfortunately.
Now, a recent win for Mark Jackson, I think, would be a Dega win, and during the latter half of last season.
Yeah, right now 39 laps into this race, and no one. Well, I was about to say no one trying to push limits. That would be an absolute incorrect statement. But luckily, no one has wrecked it yet. But lap traffic going to be a factor soon. Justin Michael starting to catch the back end of the field, it looked like. I could see him off in the distance for a moment.
Yeah, it's only 24 seconds around this track. The last place guys, or the last guys on the lead lap, are about 12 seconds behind. So, approaching, halfway to those back end drivers.
Right now, 41 laps into this race. Mitch Reeves, 3rd place. But look at Jeffrey Merck. He's up to 4th now. Can Merck make a pass for 3rd? I think Merck's got a lot of speed in this truck tonight. He might be a factor.
Yeah, Chadwick and Merck raiding barbs here. Going back. Oh, Chadwick tapped them.
Yep, and it'll be big. Smallwood's in it. Merck's motor is blown up. That's his night over. Smoke coming out of it. Chadwick there, a little bit of contact with him. Chadwick just drove it in deep, and Merck tried to shut the door on him, and Chadwick was there. Created a 3-way crash. Unfortunately, Mark Jackson, Daniel Smallwood getting a piece of it as well.
Yeah, that was a 2-car contact, and I think the 60 might have recovered from that, but along comes the rest of the drivers piling in there, and things happen out of this corner so fast. If you're spinning those tires, you're down 100 miles an hour, and those guys are up full speed.
Yeah, right now, big crash, 42 laps in. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the American Sim Network. Don't go anywhere. This race barely halfway over. I can't believe I'm saying this race is halfway over. We've barely been racing. We'll be right back. Back live here, Jeff Wood gonna get you with the green as we'll have 40 laps to go when we go green here. It'll be Ronald Klein, your new race leader.
Yeah, looks like some trickery or a poor pit stop on part of the 87, but 76.02 out front after those pit stops.
It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out now. We got some damaged trucks up front, and again, we've been live for about 30 minutes. Bear in mind, you know, about 5 of that was qualifying. So about 25 minutes we've been racing. This race going by quick.
Yep, and we're about to get under green. There goes the guys up front. Green, green, green. Looks like Ronald Klein's going to easily take first with Mitchell Reeves second. Justin Michael's going to have to work some drivers in front of him.
Yeah, there is a lot of quick racing going down, and if we stay green, this race will be over pretty quickly too, in the blink of an eye, if you will, you know?
Oh, yeah. Some guys may see that as you do, Matt, and may make some forceful moves.
Well, I would hope they don't. I hope they know that, you know, you drive it like the race is ending soon. You're gonna wind up extending the race by a good bit. You see Justin Michael up to second once again, getting by Mitch Reeves. Keith Haney looking to get past him again as well. You know, if you drive it like the race is about to end, you're gonna cause a crash. So they gotta run like there's still 85 laps to go, if that makes any kind of sense.
No, I quite agree. Justin Michael, the 87, looks like the man to beat at the moment. Ronald Klein's a steady second place truck here tonight. He's got a little bit of a restart damage maybe, or checkup damage there on the rear spoiler. If there's a track that doesn't need a lot of aero, it's this track. I mean, obviously damage is going to affect, but not so much here tonight.
And right now, look at Kyle Chadwick there. He's been in the top 10 all night. You think he's got a shot winning tonight because, again, here's the thing with Chadwick. He's had bad luck, but he's always been there. He just hasn't been able to put together that all-elusive win, you know?
Yeah, 88 could win, but I don't think he's the truck to beat tonight with the 83 Randy Arms with that disconnection. 87 now the truck to beat. Obviously, Ron Klein still holding down first place for the moment.
Right now, 52 in Nick Zontner. Now, Nick Zontner, another interesting case. You look at Zontner, right, Jeff? And in the summer stretch, for the first 3 races, he looked like he was going to set the world on fire with how fast he was. And then he just fell off the face of the earth completely. I don't know what happened to him, but whatever speed he had was gone, and he wound up settling into being a top 15 driver. Now he's settled into being a top 10 driver, but I don't think he's got that speed back. I wonder if tonight, you know, we'll see him get to victory lane. What do you think happened to him after the first 3 races in that summer stretch?
Well, like most things, real life normally gets in the way of sim racing, so I think that has a little bit to do with it, but also track time, seat time, whatever you want to call it. As it looks like Zach McSwain's pressuring the 97 of Zontner. Zontner also has found himself in a lot of incidents as of late. So, you know, along with the minimal track time we've seen him at, he looks to be making a pass. Nope, there goes Zach McSwain. Looks to get to the left quarter panel of the 97. 97 is going to have to relinquish 6th spot to hold on to some momentum here. And here comes Wally Tierheimer.
Yeah, it looks like he'll lose the position there, and Tierheimer gains it. Ronald Klein and look at Daniel Smallwood going down pit lane. Something is wrong with Daniel Smallwood.
He probably scraped the wall, and it probably showed him a meatball flag. He's out there running straight points. I know he hasn't made every truck race, but
he may have a flat tire. That's a meatball flag now too.
Yes, it is. Justin Michael to the lead, though.
That may potentially be what's wrong with that number 8, but yeah, Justin Michael now leads. Ronald Klein going to try and get that lead back as we tick down the laps.
Yep, surprisingly, 85 on a 1 mile track. It's only 85 miles around.
And you can see here, 57 in, drivers starting to spread out. You think we'll see another caution? You think we'll go green to the end here?
I'd like to see green to the end. There may be like a right on the line of pitting. Let's go back to like 11th place. Look at Brian Abbott mixing up with Jack Watts, Randy Arms, Judd Danielson, Ray Richard. Oh, Jack Watts off the wall.
Oh boy. And, in the 57, Jeff Gilmore hard into the outside wall.
Yeah, wow, that was with the 83 again.
Just when I say you think there'll be another caution, what do we get?
You know, Randy Arms.
Randy's trying very hard to gain laps and gain position. He's trying a little bit too hard.
Yeah. 6 laps down, there's no need to pressure lead lap cars like that.
And I gotta say, I really like Randy Arms. I love watching him in AMS, and I like watching him here. But I have to agree with you. I can't disagree. He's driving, in my opinion, a little too hard for as many laps down as he is, because Jeff Wood's motor's blown up now, and not Jeff Wood, I'm sorry, Jeff Gilmore. Gilmore's motor, his night's over.
Yeah, Gilmore running 6 in points. So, you know, we talk about Randy Arms needing guys many laps down. You just can't put him there yourself.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, he is.
And as Gilmore in the S of the 57 is really displeased with the 83.
Yeah. And you can see a little bit of a nudge. We're getting the replay. That a little bit more than a little bit of a nudge. He's kind of...
83 probably had the spot, but...
He did, but he was 6 laps down.
He was 6 laps down. There's no... He's probably the fastest or second fastest truck on the field with a clean body. No doubt. The 83's there. But, you know, it just comes down to knowing the person around you and the style of racing that you need to do at 6 laps down.
Yeah.
And you just can't pressure top 10 cars or even lead lap cars, unfortunately. I know you're supposed to gain every position possible, but there's probably a better way to make that pass.
Yeah, Randy, if you're watching this, I really like you. You're one of my favorite drivers. But, man, you shouldn't have done that. And Randy's an experienced driver, too. He knows his way around these cars. He knows his way around anything frustrated. You hand it to him.
As much as Gilmore's frustrated right there with what Randy Arms did, I think Randy Arms is frustrated with his
situation.
ISP. Yeah, the ISP, anything, whatever happened to make him lose connection. He was almost a second from second place, and then lost connection.
He has, without a doubt, one of the fastest truck on the grid, in my opinion, if it wasn't damaged. And it's, like you said, probably very frustrating for the situation that he's in. So I can kind of understand why he's racing hard, but as you said, it ain't necessary, and you can't be doing that to a lead lap car.
No, and 57 will retire. Daniel Smallwood retired. Probably too much damage, or I don't think it was a flat tire for the 8 machine after his incident.
Yeah, maybe it was. He just decided that's enough of that then.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's not top in points. He's missed he's been involved in truck racing lately at Loose Lugnuts, but the 8 machine, further back in the points cycle. So, if you got a meatball flag and engine damage, probably just easy enough to take it behind the wall.
And we'll see how it just plays out when we go back to green flag racing for these leaders, which will be Justin Michael, Ron Klein. They were having a good battle. So
no, they were 1-2.
What will happen again?
Justin Michael did not escape from Ronald Klein. However, 7602 do not control the lead. Keith Haney's sitting there lurking. That's not what Justin Michael wants to see, because Keith Haney has an inside line this restart, He could end up quickly to second place, that 87D. We could have a battle of the 87s.
Right now, 62 now into this race. What's your bet as to what happens when we go green?
Unfortunately, cautions breed cautions. I think we have one more left in us. Pace car down. We'll have to see how quickly these guys can spread apart, and hopefully I'm wrong. There goes to 87. Quick jump. The rest of the outside line realizes it before Ronald Klein does. Can Keith Haney... Oh, Ronald Klein with the heavy block.
Yeah, interesting start there for these drivers. Justin Michael got a pretty great jump though, so it's not going to be too big of a factor. And look at in the back, Chadwick, Brian Abbott, everyone's just kind of going. They're going everywhere there, back there.
Yeah, everyone wants inside line on restart, or where they can find inside line, right? And if you come off of turn 2 with too much momentum, you're going to lose it after you just got it off of turn 1. Who knows? Oh, big fight up front with Keith Haney and the rest of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Ronald Klein got thrown back to 5th. Keith Haney, the new second-place driver.
That's not what Justin Michael wants to see. Even though Justin Michael's got a good bit of lead here, I think Keith Haney's a good contender to take this race away if he can get up there. But you know, there's Mitchell Reeves and Zach McSwain. I'm going to say a little bit of a surprise tonight just based on his gridding. 23rd to 4th so far for that 091.
It's just some great racing up front. We're closing in on just 20 laps to go. And I'm running out of things to say just because of how everything's so exciting. I'm just watching it, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there's some great battles going on. You're just watching them, just seeing what they're going to do. Everyone's trying to avoid the crash. Everyone is and always has, but you know, sometimes it does happen. However, there is anyone can fight for that top 10. There's a lot of guys within a half a second of top 10, and they need those points compared to where the rest of the drivers are in front of them too.
Right now, 19 laps to go here.
Mark Jackson on the bottom there, looking over where he is sitting in points. He's just trying to hold on. He's all about points racing that 3 machine.
Yeah, I'm interested to see here what's going to happen with Keith Haney. I think Haney's got a very fast truck. If he can run down Justin Michael, I think there's going to be a battle between the two of them, and I think Keith Haney might be the winner, you know?
Oh, yeah, Keith Haney notoriously saves. We talked about the version of, you know, being able to save. Maybe you couldn't save too much on the last version of the tire, but Keith Haney found a way to save tires. He's really good at it. I think he's one of the best out here. Obviously, Justin Michael could almost probably do the same. I would say Keith Haney reminds me a lot of how Wes Holland would save tires and be just as fast.
Yeah, right now, 16 laps to go.
Top 5 breakaway, but, you know, really it's a top 10 breakaway, and everyone's trying still to find their spot. Like you said about those laps remaining, there's still some time. Obviously, if someone's running a little bit too tough, we're about to figure that out in the next 10 laps.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Oh, we got a truck blowing up. Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson has had something go catastrophically wrong with that number 3 machine.
Yeah, well, I don't think they simulate oil on the speedway. We're not there yet. So,
I want to know though what happened.
Oh, he was involved in that backstretch crash with Chadwick and Mert. So he's got some front end damage. Oh, I don't know what he's doing back out on track, but there he goes. He scared me for a second.
He came out on track. He came out of pit road. And looks like he was gonna go back into the pits. And then yeah, the motor blew up. So he came out on track, ran it around the apron for about half a lap, and the motor blew up and he had to run it around about another lap to get back into the pits. So it looked like he was just trying to see if the truck would run, and, well, obviously it didn't. It lasted halfway down the backstretch before the motor exploded again. Talk about an unfortunate situation.
Yeah, he got the most out of that truck for what it was going to give, evidently.
Yeah, he'll still walk away with a 21st place finish. Kevin Winters on pit lane. Randy Arms won't have nearly enough time, and Randy Arms actually looks like he's parked it for the night. And he, I gotta say, good on Randy Arms, though. If he has parked that truck for the night, he's parked it in a position to where he won't gain a spot on Jeff Gilmore. He'll finish 24th behind Gilmore, and I feel like that's kind of the courteous thing to do, you know?
A little bit of a concession there from the 83.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you agree with me, but what's your take on that?
I mean, that's up to the drivers. I'm all about drivers policing themselves. You know, other than the little bickering back and forth sometimes you hear as an admin, but, you know, so goes racers. You know,
yeah.
Racers are just racers, and sometimes words come to words, but
I feel like that's a fair concession, though.
Oh yeah, 83 will be back next week, or the next points race, and try his hand at Indy.
Yeah, and the 57 will as well.
Mm-hmm.
8 more times around for the 2019 year. Last race of the decade for Loose Lugnuts Racing League. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I mean, we
still have 2 more official days, but yeah, it's good.
Last points race, I should say.
Last truck points race of the decade here, and you know, I just looked over the truck stats, loaded up on Dana Lisa, and seeing who the all-time leader was in wins for trucks. That's easy to point out. I'm not going to say the name, but you know, there's a lot of guys out there that are about similar that have had great spurts of wins. Justin Michael being one of them now, and you know,
he's about to pick up what, his 4th win of the season. Win
in trucks alone.
Yeah, he's fast, no doubt about it. Well, who is the all-time winner in the truck series?
It's Wes Holland. He has 22 wins. A lot of these guys are now ranging towards 7 to 8 wins at the top of the board, being like Ronald Klein. I think Kevin Winters up there towards the top. Mitch Reeves, obviously. So Keith Haney's in that number too. Bob Wells back today has won, I think, like 4 or 5 races in the trucks on Loose Lugnuts. So there's a lot of old and newer names up there. So
Justin Michael trying to climb that ladder.
Yeah, Justin Michael's going to climb that ladder. 4 wins. I don't think anyone else has more than 1 win in the truck season so far. So 4 bonus points going into the chase for Justin Michael so far, 9 races in.
Well, he doesn't have the 4th win yet.
No, he doesn't. And you know, and
we saw what happened at Chicago. We saw what happened at Chicago last week. So I'm not going to count that one until we see him cross that checkered line.
Yeah, looks like 3 and 78 off the track.
I don't want to jinx him, but I mean, we all saw what happened at Chicago. We know that it's not a guarantee until it's over. We could get a green-white checker, and they could all wad up. So you never know. 2 more times around. This time, Justin Michael can taste that 4th victory. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out if he can get it. 2 to go.
He's got a pretty good pace. Keith Haney almost hit the wall off of turn 2 on the last lap. So, you know, all Justin Michael's race, other than parring something around the field, looking for that white flag. He just needs to cross the line, and then it doesn't matter.
Yep, final lap of the race presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs. The best paint schemes on iRacing can be found at Over the Top Paints and Designs, run by our own John Hendrick. And you can see Justin Michael just lapping it the way he has been, so methodically and so well. For 85 laps here tonight, coming to the checkered flag off of turn number 4 for the final time. It is Justin Michael to win at Dover. Keith Haney second, Mitchell Reeves and Zach McSwain rounds out 4th. 5th place, Kyle Chadwick, Nick Zauntner, Ronald Klein, Wally Tierheimer, Brandon Thornhill, Brandon Murray, Judd Danielson, Ray Richer, Brian Abbott, Chris Shaw, Jeremy Crandell, Trent Drum, Jack Watts, Robert McFarland, Chris Voiles, Lee Ryson, Mark Jackson, Kevin Winter, Randy Arms, Jeff Gilmore, Daniel Smallwood, Jeffrey Merck, Kerry Cleaver, Andrew Fesden, Topper Dugas rounds out your field. 82 laps down in 29th place. But the man of the hour, Justin Michael, I almost said Jeffrey Michael. I'll let you get the word in with our race winner, final official truck winner of 2019.
Yep, Justin, I mean, we talked to you last week already, bud. Again, this week, 4 wins, 9 races, bonus points galore going into the chase so far from what it looks like for you. Got to be good momentum for the rest of the week and also heading into the Christmas Bash.
Yeah, definitely great momentum, and I didn't know. I thought next week was the last race of the season. That's my fault, but yeah, it's good to get that last win, and hopefully we extended the points lead a good bit there. I think Mitchell got 3rd, so that'll help a lot. So, but yeah, it was definitely a good race overall, nice and clean, and the setup was a lot better than last week. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, Randy with his little connection issue, you might have caught him. We can speculate. It looks like you could have caught him. At least a 1-2 truck out there tonight. From looking at the start of that race, anything besides the setup, tires, anything on the track that made a difference?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'd hate for Randy having that problem. It would have been fun to see how we finished there at the end. But I don't know. I mean, I ran this race like I normally do before the tire model changed, and it still worked. I still pulled away from everybody. I really love this track. We always run real good here, no matter what car we're in, as long as it's a decent setup like tonight. So I don't know. I think they'll tweak the tire model, I think, going forward, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, shout out to those sponsors.
Yeah, everybody, 511 Tactical, and everybody out there watching. You guys for, calling a good race as always, and John for having a good leg, and I know Ronald does a lot with the admin duties and everything. My boy Darren's out there watching as always, so I appreciate everybody out there.
All right, Justin, thanks for that. We got Christmas Bash on the 28th of next week. We got the rest of the week, though, here at Dover Xfinity Cup. So good luck with that. I know you're shooting for more wins there. Maybe sweep the week if you can.
Race 1 of 3. We'll see what happens. I've never did it. There's 2 things I haven't did in iRacing in a league. I haven't lapped the field, and I haven't swept the weekend. So we'll see.
I think sweeping the weekend may be easier, but good luck with the
in this league, definitely gonna lap the field in this league. That's for sure. These 2 guys are too good.
All right.
Next up on the interview block, going to be Keith Haney. How you doing, Keith?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I am doing awesome. Happy to be talking to you again, man. That was some great racing you put on. You did fantastic.
Man, I appreciate it, buddy. I didn't expect to do that good tonight, but I'm glad I did.
Man, you were driving that track. You had that thing down great. I was watching. It looked like you were on rails that entire run. How'd you do it? What was your strategy?
Man, this new tire package is really tricky, man. It's so hard to tell really what you're getting. But I believe I learned a whole lot tonight. Hopefully this thing's going to end up playing in to my style of racing. I think everybody knows I'm kind of the tire saver guy. I tend to lay back in the back, and toward the end of the race, I try to start peeking my nose up toward the front if I can. It's really really tough to get up there most of the times, but hopefully this tire package is going to play into to the big dog's favor of racing, man.
Now, if you had one more caution, do you think you would have had a shot at that win there?
Man, it would have been exciting, I'll tell you that, because I've never been a short run guy, but these tire packages, it seems like I've got a little bit of speed over the short run now. So I'm not going to sit over here and pull any hocus pocus because I tend to speak some words and I end up biting myself in the butt. Kevin Winter can definitely vouch for that, can't you, buddy? But man, it was a heck of a race tonight.
All right, well, talk to us, man. Any sponsors you want to thank?
Yes, sir, man. You guys are putting on a heck of a show, man. I love going back and watching this thing. All the fans out there watching, man, you guys should go to Loose Lugnuts Facebook page and like, and if you haven't already, and get in there and get in on some of the action, man. This is an awesome league. Has a lot of fun. Hey, Ron and John, Kevin Winter, Jeff Merck. Hey, I love you guys, man. I love racing with you. My teammates, Brian, my dad. I don't know what I'd do without them.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, man, and great job on the finish. Hope to see you back up front real soon. Hope to see you in Victory Lane real soon.
I'm trying, Matt. Thank you, brother.
All right, next up on the interview block, last up on the interview
And I was running to the right one.
It is Mitchell Reeves with Jeff Wood.
Yeah, Mitch, I talked to you a lot, and sorry to interrupt your conversation there
Oh,
with
you're
Justin. Good. But, we'll make this a little bit short and sweet from normal, but, the O2 again, podium finish, points-wise, looking good. We still got the rest of the week at Dover for the remainder of the two series, Xfinity and Cup. So your truck's locked down. Looks like you're going to have a strong second place. With Justin Michael winning so many races, do you now have to start doing the same yourself, getting ready for those bonus points entering the chase?
Not really. I mean, I hate to put it this way, but, Justin's been on a roll lately, and, yeah, it's really awesome getting to talk to you at the end of every race, but it seems like every track we've been at lately, I'm not finding that edge that these guys are finding, and that was something I felt like we were really good at last year, but we're not finding that little secret or that little thing that's going to put us above everybody. And when you're in a fixed setup league, that one little thing could change the whole entire outcome. But finish P3, can't be too disappointed. And I felt like we were probably a fifth place truck at best. But the unfortunates with what happened with Randy Arms, with him blinking out, and some other guys that were up front, we kind of progressed and took the good out of that and finished P3. So
yeah, most definitely. We got Dover the rest of the week. Got the Xmas Bash. Next up on the points for the first of the year, or second of the year, if you want to look at it technically, is Indy, the good old Brickyard. How you feeling about the next points race?
Well, first off, the problem is I don't even know if I'm gonna make Saturday or Sunday with Christmas being in the middle of the week. That really makes it tough because we're using both weekends as a Christmas deal. But hey, I'm never gonna complain about seeing family and friends. But if we can make the rest of this, we'll see how that goes. But Indy is a track that I really struggle at. It never had a good finish there. I won one or two. Actually, I won the Cup Series last year there on the old build, but really have always struggled at the flat track. So moving forward, we got a lot to work on, but you can guarantee we're gonna try to be there at the end like always.
All right, man. Go ahead and thank those sponsors.
I got to give you a shout out to racegear.com. Beautiful, beautiful truck that John Hedrick with Overtop Paints and Designs put up for us for this whole year. Huge shout out to Over the Top Motorsports. We had a kind of a tough night tonight. It was really good to see Ron have a decent run tonight. Other guys just couldn't get out of the wrecks, it seemed like, but we'll definitely be back for that. And huge shout out to Justin Michael for the win. You guys up in the booth, as always. I haven't really thanked you, Matt, especially for everything he does for us here with American Sim. Everything he can do, he always does it for us. So big shout out to him, and a huge shout out to my girlfriend for dealing with this crazy addiction that I have of racing.
All right, Mitch. We'll see you the rest of the week, hopefully. If not, on to the new year.
Appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you, man.
For everyone watching out there, remember, sim racing addiction is better than a drug addiction. And that's my advice going into the new year. Hope everyone enjoyed tonight's race. This has been the American Sim Network. We've enjoyed broadcasting in the 2010s and hope the 2020s will be even better, though I think we still have a few more left to do before the year is out. So we're not going anywhere just quite yet. Hope everyone enjoyed tonight's race. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a great night, everybody.